Are we live? Are we live?
Live.
Man, it's your boy, Mr. Williams from I Talk Gray. We up in the building, Music Media Lounge. I got some heavy hitters in the building today.
Oh, damn.
Media Bay.
Hey, Bay. What's up?
Hey, Bay. I got China Travels.
China Travels.
You trying to go to
All
China.
day.
Yeah,
Take you around the world.
trust me. And I got my dog, see what I'm saying? The Jizza. The man
Bless.
behind the scenes who make everything happen, Music Media Lounge. Tigger.
What's good? What's good? We here.
Blessings. What's good, Doc?
It's a blessing, man. I'm happy to be here, my brother.
Trust me, we had to get you up in here because technically it was supposed to just be me and Tigger.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had some questions for him personally about his Rasta team.
She like, oh.
Man. Because it's like, we can't, like if I say, yo, I'm coming. Nah, you can't say, that's a forward.
Yeah.
You're like, why I
Only
can't
right.
say I'm coming?
Only right. She's like, really?
I know. I'm like, well, what are we saying then? What are we saying?
It's like they switch I can't say certain things around him. So when I first started coming to the studio, he was like, no, nah, yo, fire up on that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
just got
I'm
to
just
deal
saying.
with correction, you know what I'm saying?
But why though? Explain it for us.
I mean, how many words you know have multiple meanings? You know what I'm saying? So when you say the word, like, that person has to kind of be there with you to know how you mean this word, depending on where you're from, culture, creed, you know what I'm saying? It could be received differently, you know what I'm saying? So just to be clear and, you know what I mean? Like, you don't mix me with that or you don't think that's what I said. I'm saying what I mean, you know what I'm saying? It works out.
So what is the Jamaican culture meaning when they say, yo, yeah, by style?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I've heard, yo, like females say that. Like, yo, you're a by style.
By style?
Like, by style. Yeah, like you buying a style, like
you trying something?
Yeah,
that's not
I don't
really
know.
You?
I'm looking for clarification.
I mean, what was the scenario that this is what you was
Place
giving
it in
at?
some context.
So
What were you doing that she probably thought you weren't supposed to
I
be
heard
doing?
it in Convo.
Okay.
So I was listening to Mutabaruka,
Okay.
and they was asking questions about like who do Rastas believe in, like Haile Selassie.
True.
So they was asking like questions to like the people on the street. So one of the regular ladies was like, "Yo, enough people buy style and things like that." There.
Okay.
I didn't know what she meant by.
I guess in that context, it would be like enough people are, like you trying off of something, like you looking for something to put yourself into. You know what I'm saying? Like a trend almost. It's like a trend. Enough people with a trending thing. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I mean? So even that, like shit. Now we got to try to figure out what she meant by that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just get clear, right to the point. This is what I'm saying. This is what I meant. You can't take it left or right. This is it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a wild world we living in right now. Right?
Yeah, about that.
You don't want to be put over there when you don't want to be over there. If that's safe, right? I can say that. All right.
No, it's true. I think it's true.
But Media Bay, is there like a, because she's bilingual?
Yes.
A lot of people probably don't know that, but is there another way to say that in Spanish?
So I'm trying to think. Not really. But I feel like overall, I really like that point he made because we don't think about it, based on how we speak and the things that we say. It just takes one person passing by to take it and, mistake it and put it in the wrong context. And that wasn't even what the whole discussion of where, he was even talking about, but now he's placed in that particular category.
Yeah.
For me, also, like, speaking Spanish, it's like I speak proper Spanish. So a lot of the times when people are like, what does this say? And I'm like,
oh, that's slang.
That's slang.
Yeah, the broken
and I'm like,
version.
I'm not bougie or nothing, but I speak proper Spanish. I'm just like
proper, like, is it a different type of Spanish? I thought it was,
just like we got, we got our slang, like all that stuff.
Like patois.
Yeah.
Every language I've
Creole.
realized has their own slang,
Yes.
and I'll just be like, and then every culture. So imagine all of these different Latin countries, Ecuador, San Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras. All of them have.
She took you there. She took you. Like, I'm gonna show you I'm Spanish right now. Yeah. I'm gonna take you there. Watch this.
I like that. All the accent.
Yeah. You know, all of them, even Puerto Ricans, like all of them have their own slang within it.
And I mean, I can relate because I'm Haitian, and you know, yes, sir, I am. Yes, 1804. No, sir. I am 1804 all day. Yes, all day. No, but I can relate to what you were saying because, you know, Creole is, you know, French and a broken version of African dialect. So, you know, a lot of that is still in that French language. So it's like a patois in itself. And it's, you know, we speak very vulgar, very blunt, or straight to the point when we say things. Some things we're saying very kind, but it sounds very aggressive.
Oh, Shelly.
Yeah, it's why y'all arguing.
It just depends on how you put in, what emphasis you're putting into it. But there's a lot of things we would say, you know, like ashtifiyimun in reference to what you were saying, like buy style or something. You know, so, you know, that's like buying someone's face, you know. And that could be said in a very sincere way, and sometimes it could be said in a very, you know, just depending on the emphasis you're putting in it, you know, directions you're going in the conversation. So
it's all culture.
Yeah,
you know
it
what
is.
I'm saying?
Lots of culture.
But no, I like the fact that you know how to switch up. You know, I'm not gonna say you switching up, but that you have both. Like you have the North American urban. I gotta say North America because I got some friends that's from South America, and they're like, "No, we still in America too. South America. You just in North America."
But you know, I always tell people one of the biggest strengths you can have is knowing when and how to adjust for different parts of you. The same way I can transition. Like my friends know when we were little, we walked in that. I went to Northern Middle down in Miami. So we was hood. We was it was gutter. And, you know, but my friends would walk in the house. Hola, mami, mira, and they were like, they was like, we just stepped into Telemundo. I was like, Univision, you know. But I also learned that even in just regular day-to-day stuff, because I could be all day 9 to 5 dealing with elected officials and government entities, and I could break stuff down to you and be like, well, at this current particular moment, we will not be able to accommodate that.
Right.
But then in an hour, I'm down at the studio going, all right, so what's up?
So what it is.
You know, but you have to be able to quickly transition in and out of those spaces.
Kind of like a chameleon.
Yes, you
adapt
have
to your surroundings.
Because it helps you so much, and, you know, you can kind of always be able to be
versatile
and be comfortable.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crazy shit going on in the world, so you got to know how to be in different spaces and be in different places.
And personally, for me, I love walking in, and I try to be as, I guess you could say, American or hood as possible when I go to Latin areas or venues or restaurants or stores. I do that on purpose sometimes, a lot of the times, because I always was constant social experiment, and I'm always right. I go in there, and then I get treated a certain way. And then the minute I go, mira, yo quiero esto aquí, they're like,
it transitions.
Now I get the best customer service.
They tighten up real quick.
You know what? I can relate to that with Haitians.
Like, damn, she heard what we were saying. She know what we said.
Oh yeah, that too.
I can relate to that, you know, because I could walk into a store and I would need some help from someone and be like, oh yeah, I'll too, and then I'll find somebody else that I can tell is from a Haitian descent. Like, oh, I see it. You know, it's like a code. And it's like as soon as let me walk you to, let me show you. Look, don't even get this product. You get top 10, 100% service, because now it's like a relation. It's like I don't know.
But you see, a lot of people don't know, to bring it back to what Mita Bay was saying, a lot of people don't realize that there are a lot of black Hispanics.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? I think what happens a lot of times is that it's kind of I don't know if you experience that, where you have some black Hispanics will say, well, I ain't black, I'm Spanish. Like,
all of them.
Nah, you speak Spanish.
So
but you're still black.
So Hispanics not black? I mean, you just wowed me.
They have white Hispanics.
So
you see what I'm saying?
So they
have white Hispanics, or they have lighter complexion Hispanic?
Not white people. Blue. Like my supervisor was from Ecuador, and he was white. Tom Cruise, and blue eye, everything.
But complexion wise, optically, they would be considered Caucasian, or until they speak, of course. However, their background is probably more from what they would say Los Indios. They're more probably from Ecuador. Their background is probably more linked to the Mayans or, you know, that type of background.
Exactly. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
Because for me, my background growing up is my mom, we are considered garifunas, which are, I guess during the whole slavery thing, there was, I forgot, Arawakan Indians.
Arawaks and Tanners.
Yeah. They were brought to, you know, from Africa to Honduras, and we settled along the beach. And so my mom actually still speaks Garifuna, the actual language.
The original language.
The lingual language.
The colonizer came and dropped it.
Yeah. Correct. No, I would say probably what it developed into, because they're now, at that point, was mixing, because Honduras has heavy Mayan background. So when they went in, you got the Mayans in there.
Definitely.
So that all started to blend, so that you got Garifuna. And that's what you have along Honduras. You got some in San Salvador, a lot in Belize.
Okay.
So that's why when you go to Honduras, ironically, if you stay along the coast, you see a lot of black Hispanics.
Right.
They are all, for the most part, Garifuna. When you go closer inland to the center, you got a lot more what we call Indios.
Okay.
Lighter complexion, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, and their background is more from like that, the Mayan, those type of background. So yeah, so you have that all along Honduras on the beach side, and you speak, the language is it sounds like African. Our music is very drum based.
Right.
And
that is African.
Yeah, everything culture wise. So it was crazy for me growing up. My mom actually toured doing that type of dancing. She did a U.S. tour, cultural dance tour with her team while I was in Honduras. So she did that for a few years. And so growing up for me, when she brought me over to the States, that's what I saw. Okay. You know, and then that's what I saw them speaking, you know, our food and everything. I was so immersed in our culture, even though I wasn't in Honduras. Right. So I got to grow up knowing a little bit more
your tradition.
How important is that culture, though? Do you, like, teach your daughter about that?
So down here, and I don't know, I don't know if it's something it's happening because of our society. Down here, the culture that was back then is not here no more. Right. A lot of them have spread to, actually, when we go to main Garifuna events, we got to go to New York. There's they even have a whole picnic, festival, parade, everything, Garifuna, everything in New York. So now, whenever my mom wants to do stuff, we got to go all the way to New York. Right. And when we go, my mom's always reuniting with... My mom literally sat one time, like 2 years ago, next to the lady that lived next to her at her village.
Oh
wow.
And it was just so... I'm like, why is my mom hugging this lady and they crying? Why are they crying at this table? Then my mom told me, she was like, she used to watch me when I was little. And this lady lived next to me. Right. And my mom's village is no longer here because of Hurricane Mitch.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, but it was crazy. So down here, it just, the culture, there's like this one a church that puts on a picnic.
When you say down here, you mean
down
Florida?
Here in Florida. That I can think of, you know, that I know a year I can go. So when I was little, my daughter would go. I wanted her first and foremost to always hear the music, the culture, to hear the language,
keep the
just to keep
alive.
That in her mind, that this is part of her background. You know, even though she's not exposed to it, just make her aware of it.
Do they still do that
because
every year in New York?
It helps kids with a sense of identity. I have a lot of my friends, especially those that are American, that say, I really don't know much of my background.
True.
Do they still do that in New York every year?
Yeah.
New York, I would say New York, I think Louisiana, and Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Those are 3 areas I know for a fact we all in them.
Yeah.
That's like when we look, my mom, when she's on Facebook finding people, that's where all of them for the most part. But New York, heavy. It was, and then we go dressed like with our Ankara fabric, everything, like everything. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Keeping that tradition alive.
Yeah, keeping that tradition. My problem with some of that, I'm going to bring that back. Sorry, I'm kind of controversial. I don't like the diminishing factor of the African. Right. And the highlight of the Spanish. Right. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's okay to embrace both because, this is, you are there. You know what I'm saying? But like what you were saying, a lot of these things are African.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when that mixture, I don't know, me personally, I'm not big on the mix because I feel like when you mix too much, you lose the purity
of course
of who you are. You see what I'm saying? So people will say things like, love is love and shit like that. Right. I don't kind of agree with that. I feel like love is based on the things that you value. Right. So it's easy for someone to be with another race if they don't value their own. You see what I'm saying? Because to me personally, your children are supposed to be representations of you. So I'm not going to be cool holding Justin Bieber in my hand.
I could dig it.
I know what I'm saying. I don't know. That's just me because people in my job are like, oh, you're so racist. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I just believe in preserving. Right. So my children have to be from a black woman. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And again, I feel like that's kind of preference. You prefer you prefer that because there's a lot of people prefer. I want my kids to be black. With the history and the lineage of just that heritage. You know, and there's some people that's just like you said, love is love. And we got Haitian Puerto Ricans, we got Mexican, whatever. Exactly, it's just a big mix.
My mom wanted me with a Latin dude, okay? Yeah. Was it Jesse? My mom loved her some Jesse. He was Cuban. Everybody else was black. She was just like, no me gusta. No me gusta. No me gusta.
I think when you put all those titles on everything, that's how you confuse everything. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just kind of clarify no matter what complexion, you still black. Right. So no matter what you look like when I see you, you're still black. So
so you don't like titles?
Regardless, definitely not. That brings just separation.
In relationships too, or just
in general? A titles is given to classify shit, right?
Yeah, you puts you in a class.
So classification is a means of separation. Right. Mm-hmm. If we're trying to stay together and united, then we can't be separating and shit. You know what I mean?
Facts. I hear that.
Depending on your personal preference, like you could have a light skin black, you could have a dark skin black, you could have a black skin black, but it's all still the essence of black, right?
A black skin black.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Heavily melanated.
I mean, however you want to describe it, like politically correct,
black
can take you to the shades and hues of our where we exist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do still think what you said is relevant, that we should remain to our own. But like we have a better selection than someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the Justin Bieber.
Better selection?
We have a broader selection, like we just said. Justin Bieber's, like you said. Like shit, you gotta stick to the Justin Bieber squad.
Yeah.
We're not the Justin Bieber, so there's a whole hue that you can choose from, like we just said. Yeah, like you don't have to just, because I'm light, I got to stick with the light, or I got to stick with the dark because I'm dark. Like, if we're going to stick with black, I'm light, shit, I'm going with the dark. I'm going with the black. I'm going with my, you know what I'm saying? You still remain in your own realms, in your own spectacles, you know what I'm saying?
Jeans is a heavy thing because I ain't even going to front. My daughter was born, she was looking like a Puerto Rican. I didn't think she was mine. My mom was gassing me up too, and we did the swap shit. Man. I was pressuring my baby mom. I'm like, yo, just, let's keep it funky with me.
Keep it real. They should when they were born.
My son, when that nigga came out, I couldn't even deny that shit. I was like, oh, shit,
yeah, that's me.
He had the nose.
Sometimes there's certain features.
But I was like,
you can't really.
My baby was high yellow. Okay, me and my ex-husband he's a little darker than me. My baby was high yellow.
We gotta do the swab, man. Yeah, because I don't be liking how they do Amira La Negra. That's my
man,
Like they didn't even invite her to the Spanish Awards.
They did not?
No.
Well,
did they?
That's a whole nother theory, but I don't think it.
Do you think she's just doing it for clout?
No. First and foremost, Latin people are racist as hell.
No,
they don't like
with each other.
It's one of the reasons that I get so frustrated when I do events and hosting and auditions, because what'll happen is I've gone to an audition where the black girl, I told her this is the role I'm auditioning for. The black girl was like, this is a Spanish role. I was like, I know what it is. I was like, yeah, I speak Spanish. And she goes, oh, okay. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But as a Latin person,
all right. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
As a Latin person, it was so difficult because I started off as a model. Mm-hmm. Then it got so frustrating because I would go to stuff where they want a Latina. But what happens, I do not look like the commercial version of a Latina.
Right. What they say a Latina looks
correct.
like.
Right. Hair, curly. Right. I did not, lighter complexion.
Came in there with a fro.
So what about that girl,
Amara?
Yeah, what do you think about her?
That's what's kind of the base of the conversation. So the thing is, it's difficult because she's had opportunities.
Right.
She's been, because my mom knows her from being on these, on Univision. My mom was telling me that there was a particular show that she was on. I was like, okay. The problem what sucks with being an Afro-Latina in the Latin space is so rare to see us there because they still don't see us as Latinas.
Yes. Right.
They still don't feel that we are, it's almost like we're fighting for equality nonstop. Yeah. So that's why, think about, well, you're not really y'all really not in that space, but other than Amara, to me, Afro-Latina wise, only a person I can think of was Celia Cruz. And Celia had to go through some shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To finally become the GOAT that she is, that she was, when she passed and everything. But you're talking about Celia goes back to the 60s, the 50s.
Yeah, she threw back.
So you're telling me it takes 20, 30, 40 years, and even Amara's entertainment-wise, performance-wise,
she's on there.
Talent-wise, she's up there with Celia. Yeah. But why is it that it's only one? And then the one that is current in our times is struggling because at the time that Amara was popping, Becky G wasn't popping, Carol G wasn't popping, Nati Natasha wasn't popping. They all came in, but what's the difference between them and Amara?
The complexion.
That skin tone.
And it sucks because
take a one to sign out.
I'm trying to figure out, like, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing when we say Afro-Latina? You know what I'm saying? Because it comes back into the classification thing.
Correct.
So now even in like your realms as a Latino or a Latin individual, like that just sound like what just happened is y'all just separated your camp now. Okay, you was over here as the Latins and the Latinas, right? So now we have Afro-Latina, Latina. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like the Afro-Latina came more of not as justification for I think it came out of a way of letting both, non-Latin people and Latin people know that, hey, we're Latin. Because you see in us as black.
Right.
You're just, because when I walk into a store, they just see, here come a little black girl.
Right.
Both parties, whether
Keisha.
Here come Keisha. So whether I walk into Sedanos or I walk into Publix, they just see Keisha.
Yeah.
Now knowing
Sedanos be tripping though sometimes.
So now it's a matter of saying, no, I'm not just Keisha. I'm Keisha Maria de la Santa Cruz Pereira, whatever. So we say Afro-Latina because we need both areas to know we're Latin. Because sadly, both areas are seeing us as just black.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Because we're visual people.
No, why do you need both to know?
I thought it was sorry, I'm not.
Again, you're going back to the classification.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Separation. Because one thing is like.
Because they classify us automatically without understanding who we are.
So now.
Isn't Latin because of the Latin influence?
Right.
Because these are Latin countries. So that's me personally. That's why I thought they have the Latin. And the Afro is to say, hey, well, I'm black.
I'm still of an
African
descent.
African descent.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm a Latina that represents this particular city. I mean, this particular region.
Yeah, she was born in a Latin country.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Because what I'm getting back to is like, no matter what, you still black.
Black,
correct.
Regardless.
Right?
If you're from that region, not from that region,
so
you're
even
black.
to say Afro-Latina, you probably shouldn't have to say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
Because okay, I'm not Latina.
So hold on, wait. So what do you put on your job application? Do you put Hispanic or African American? I mean,
because it's weird. It's like they always have those two sections.
And they have other.
So, well, no, they always have. I think the first one is you pick black, and then the second one you put Hispanic,
non-American.
Yeah.
So you put Hispanic?
Yeah.
But you put Hispanic, non-American, or Hispanic American.
I don't see the non-American. I just put Hispanic.
Okay.
So I pick black and I do Hispanic.
Okay.
Because there's always those two areas, which I never get. Whatever.
Man, it's a bunch of
where do I
legalities.
fall
I'm sorry.
into
Go
the
ahead,
line?
Queen.
No, I understand what you're saying. It's like, but what you were saying, highlighting in classification, is all black straight across the board.
Correct.
If there wasn't any classification or any division within the culture or the heritage, because when you say Latino and Afro-Latina, they're going to say, okay, what's the difference between a Latina and an Afro-Latina? Okay, Afro-Latina is a darker Hispanic person, and Latina is the curly hair, lighter skinned person. And like you were saying, you walked into an audition and they were like, they're looking for a Latina girl, Again,
one at a time.
It's just a classification.
I would never get in none of those roles.
I think that's like more of a strength for you, though. Like,
Which one?
Like that, like the cheat code almost.
So I always feel like, and this is why I kind of go back to, I'm very big on empowering, our youth and our girls and our fellas as well, because I carry that on more like my armor, like the S on my chest. Most people are like where do I stand? I know very well where I stand. So I could walk in and be like, okay, no.
Whose side you want?
X, Y, and Z. Because I know the strengths. When I started at my job, 90% of the reason I moved up the way I did is because I spoke Spanish. Once they found out I spoke Spanish, because they needed someone that spoke Spanish.
You get that extra $1?
Yeah. So I learned the strengths that there was in letting people know too, because I've also found out that sometimes people will hide giving their full background out of I don't know, for whatever reason in their head, and it all goes back to their judgment, but it all goes back to their upbringing. I've also learned. But I'm like, nope, Latina. I was born in Honduras. My mom and them speak African dialect. What's up?
Right.
You see, but the upbringing, that's so important, because depending on how the person feels about what they are born in, it'll determine if they teach their kid Creole. Right. I know some Haitians that don't even speak Creole. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have some Spanish people that don't even teach their kids Spanish because maybe they're ashamed of whatever the backlash that they're getting from that particular culture. But it's just a bunch of legalities that was created by Euros. You know what I'm saying? To keep us separated. You know what I'm saying?
And they said, no matter where you come from outside of the United States, they say this is the land of lost languages. And because I can say, I was born here, but my parents just came from Haiti, and I was born here. My first language was Creole. I remember learning English. And I was born here, English. And I had the learnings. I remember Sesame Street. That's how I learned English. Listen, girl. That's the thing they taught us all English. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? That I remember sitting in front of TV with my siblings, even though, me and my brother was born here. My sister was born in Haiti, but she was more fluent in Creole, and the house was Creole. And, the family house was Creole. We were surrounded by the language.
Sesame Street.
Shout out to Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
Yes.
Listen, I'm telling you, that's how I learned. I was a little girl in Overtown at this daycare. I ain't speak no lick of English. I'll never forget sitting on this. I keep telling people, kids, don't ever underestimate what kids remember. Because when I tell you, this vision is so, I think I had to be I was 3 or 4. I just remember being the only kid sitting on this round carpet in front of this huge big screen TV, because I couldn't communicate with the other kids.
Right.
So they just put me in front of Sesame Street every morning, all day in daycare.
And that's how you picked it up.
That's right.
Yeah. Because they didn't.
That just start talking. They like, oh, come now.
It was in Overtown. Literally, it was in Overtown, right behind Booker T. And none of the teachers spoke. Nobody spoke Spanish. So who the hell is gonna be like, okay, Ana, ven para ti.
Yeah.
I was just like, no. So Sesame Street taught me English.
Yes.
Facts.
Here.
But that's why you have to be so cautious about what you project to your children, because, like what you said, kids are sponges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference between a child and an adult?
Right.
Potential. You see what I'm saying? So one of my supervisors used to say, I teach my kids about, Santa Claus. And I'm like, why? I'm trying to give them an imagination. So basically,
got that.
So like basically,
they come with that.
Yeah, so you're inserting something in their mind.
Right. You're lying.
I'm lying to him.
And then the kids are like, "Why did you put that? No, there. Did Santa really come? What's Santa?"
But then your kids know you lying, and they learn how to lie like that, and you wonder where the hell you learn how to lie.
You gotta understand, it's their tradition and their culture for the colonizer. Because I remember growing up, even though, like I said, I was born here and I had to learn English, but at the same time, we didn't have Christmas. Listen, no.
In Haiti?
What? Up here in America, but it was no Christmas, not a tree. What for? What? My parents did not.
He's shocked. He's so shocked. He's like, what? I've never heard of this.
I didn't have the tree because I was
When we went to
Jehovah.
school, they were teaching us Santa Claus, and we were like, whoa. You know, a lot of these kids like, yeah, man, we get presents every, like, y'all get presents? Because every time we're looking outside, you know, the day after Christmas, everybody around they bike, got all these new roller skates. We like, what?
Did that cause any trauma?
Listen, look, we were going outside to go play with your toys, but at the same time, it was like we didn't have that. It wasn't part of our tradition and culture. So we had to kind of like get into it. But my kids had Christmas. You know, I followed the trend.
So was that the trauma that you felt, and then you just said, "Yo, I'm gonna do it for my kids"?
I thought it was supposed to be. I didn't understand. It was something that was learned. It was put into
She
me.
fell under the influence.
Right, fell under the systematic influence. So
That's
what
the
was
danger.
what it's supposed to be.
did the
So then I had an awakening, and I was like, "Listen, man,
You stopped
pagan
you said,
holiday."
"Nah, you ain't doing no tree."
We do the tree just because I like the optics, but I don't do gifts or anything.
You like the optics?
That shit is wrong, though. I'm not gonna front.
It's programming.
Yes.
It's programming.
I'm so anti
Graham
Christmas.
Macaulay
Yes. When I learned about pagan holidays, I was like, "Yo, this thing is genius."
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
What's that?
I don't mean to cut you, Miss Lake. Did you hear what this man said?
I'm anti-Christmas, but I was born on Christmas.
How does that work?
Yeah, everybody say, "What? You're Jesus?" Like, yeah.
You say, what Jesus?
Give me my myrrh, give me my scent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, my parents was Jehovah's Witness, so I wasn't getting shit.
Right.
My
So it was
grandmother
already
did
cut
shit,
off.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, but nah, they program you to get
every way
into these types of
Right.
things. I'm not even gonna front. Like when I be driving, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I be feeling bad not to incorporate my kids in it. I be like, "Yo, man, y'all gotta celebrate Kwanzaa or some shit."
Okay.
Find I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And then the government. Let me bring this up real quick. The government now is deciding that they want to stop pesticides on foods and the rice and the veggies now because it's been triggered to where they've been finding neurological brain damage on kids.
I think it's more than just neurological, you know. Because listen, back in the day, do you remember peanut allergy? You remember all these like I don't remember that.
Listen,
I don't remember all this
thing.
soy and all this wheat and barley allergies and all this. You know, it's because of what they're doing to the food, the processing.
Facts.
You know, I believe that.
But if that's causing brain damage or neurological damage with the kids, what about all the adults that ate
They
all
gave
that
up on
shit?
them. They don't matter.
It's too late.
We need to focus on the ones that we
bruh.
can control coming out. Y'all too late.
It's too late.
Because I'm like, yo, now y'all want to stop
You got to
this shit?
stop the bleed now.
Like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's been going on. You know what I'm saying? But I know you can't grow your stuff like that, right, Tigger? Like moringa and them type thing.
You can, but it's not.
I thought
You're gonna get some pressure for it. Like the more produce you have on your land space at your house, the city's gonna like send you some notifications about it. They're doing things to make it a little bit harder for you to even do it if they can't. Like, you know, like before you can buy some fruits at the store and go home and plant it and it'll grow. Like right now, it's not really possible depending on where you're buying fruits from. You know what I'm saying?
Don't they have like a list of certain approved stuff? Remember when we went through? I don't know if y'all remember the canker.
Yes, listen, they cut down my daddy's.
The canker?
No, it was a citrus thing where they
on the oranges. So if you had which I think was all employed.
Yeah,
because if you had an orange tree, they came down cut them.
They marked it with an X.
Ironically, in Florida,
I can cut it. Yeah.
Ironically, in
the
Florida,
citrus state,
the orange state.
Yeah.
If they would say that it's contaminated with canker or whatever, and that's why you don't see nobody with an orange tree in their yard or in their house.
Yeah.
It's like a big plan, right?
Yeah,
it's a process. So I can't just.
Well, you said it's the plan?
No, yeah, definitely. I can't get you from here to here by just. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
You might even not go with it. Like you and a couple people might offset my plan, but if I like get you from here to here, like slowly,
right?
you won't even realize you're
You're
here
walking
by the time
into
you're
it.
here.
Facts.
So by the time you get here, you be like, damn, I remember how shit was when we was over here.
Right.
It's not like this. And that's basically to like sum up what the life we've been living in this country. Like through the passage of time, everything is remixed. Everything is different.
So anybody got vaccinated?
Everything is, you know what I mean? Not the same.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Shit.
Why?
So you got you
Hold on,
have
wait,
a vaccine
why?
card? You have a
Why?
COVID card?
Hold on,
Yeah, I
wait.
have it.
Why?
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Why is it for travel? Because of traveling purposes or
A
something?
little bit of everything. I just really was like, okay, opportunities based on what I'm doing with, based on what I got going on, based on how much I'm out here. I was just like it.
But now that you know that you got the shot and it doesn't prevent you from getting COVID.
No,
Yeah,
well, I
like,
always
you
knew
can
it
still
never
get that
prevented.
shit.
Yeah, I always
Right.
knew it never prevented it.
So what was
Okay.
the purpose of getting
What was the purpose of getting
to
it?
tell someone that, hey, I got my shot. Just
But
leave
why?
me alone.
Why get it though?
The business that she
So
It
was
doesn't
saying.
stop
it was
you.
more of the business.
Okay.
Just to
didn't wanna-
have the card.
I
and
didn't
a-
want to be
a
limited
pass.
from an opportunity or something that I can't go further on because of
You could have got the
that.
fake vaccination card. It's like 15.
I know.
What-
But then also it's like because I already knew in my head it was like I know I won't be COVID free. I know so many people that got COVID.
Yeah.
But if even it makes it a milder version of COVID, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so I mean, even though if you give a negative test, isn't it just equivalent of getting, a pass with whatever it is that you're trying to audition for or sign up for? Why would it limit opportunities? If, like, for example, I had to get on a set for a scene, and they wanted you to either be vaccinated or come in with a negative test, a current negative test. That was one or the other. I'm not getting vaccinated, bro. I'm not getting vaccinated. I am not.
I did it.
Why, I'm saying why.
Why?
He's like, why?
It's like so many whys. I don't even know if you have time. You know what I'm
It's so
saying?
much.
Like,
It's so much
like,
into that.
Okay,
I get the why.
where we gonna start with it, right? Like, okay, so this is bad for me, but what you're giving me to help me for it is not helping me or getting rid of this.
Because it's not even FDA approved
What's the
yet.
purpose of me getting this?
Just
And
so
then
you
now
can
when
easier
I
access.
get this, what is it gonna do to me
Facts.
after the fact
Did you
that
get sick
you know what I'm
afterwards?
saying?
Did you get sick?
None? Okay.
No shakes.
No chills.
Just the arm hurt, just like from
Yeah.
a regular shot.
I heard that.
Everything normal sexually and everything. Nothing changed.
Nothing, no issues.
You know?
Did you get both shots? I heard you have to get like first
I did
and
the
second.
Pfizer. Yeah,
Okay.
You did the
so,
Pfizer?
yeah, that's
Okay.
the double shot.
Because I got COVID. I went to New York for like a week with my daughter, and I came back, and I was like, oh.
My mom had got
But was it-
COVID,
was it
and
something
was
like
so
roll?
bad.
Or was it like your typical
Well,
cold and flu type
Yeah, because I think it
symptom?
affects everybody different based on how your health is. So I normally eat healthy. On the weekends, I might eat
So
a
you-
little Henny.
Yours
Right.
was more mild.
Yeah.
See, my mom caught COVID, and it was bad for her.
Right.
She could, and then I just seen a video of this young lady, almost my age, with COVID. She said she did not vaccinate, and she couldn't even get past a single word without feeling like. And I remember calling my mom and talking to her, and that's why she sounded. And I was freaking out because I'm like, my mom gets sick. She's one of those with these conditions, underlying conditions. And then, of course, she's stubborn too. So she was not going to the hospital.
Right.
So I just was just bringing her and buying whatever it is she needed to check her vitals and stuff. But as soon as she was done, she actually went and got the vaccine.
I think like if you don't get caught up in the hype and you just sit down and think about stuff, like that's what we don't do.
Yeah.
It'll make a little more sense. Our responses, our reactions will be different.
Right.
Cause once like the hype shit, once you get the fear and the whole program now
And the
the
celebrities
conditions,
is-
now you just go with the wave of whatever is okay. Get the shot, get the
Yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying? But it's like if you just sit down and think about it for a second, maybe you won't even include yourself into that, if that makes sense.
Because in New York, they was giving $100 to go get the vaccine.
Yeah.
Like, they
And
paying
it's
motherfuckers
never,
now.
they've never done this with vaccine.
1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got paid to take it?
You got
I
paid?
cannot answer this.
So that's what I'm saying.
That-
now.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
something. Yeah,
understand
like
that.
there should be some concern there. I don't know.
It's not.
Like,
it's not
we
helping
ain't
you.
trying
It's
to
not
get
regulating
Tuskegee.
you, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
I know. I think my other thing in my brain is like, there's always going to be some shit. There's always going to be something. I mean, I heard some news today from some really person really close to someone that I know. Mm-hmm. And I was just with these individuals last week. They left. The husband was vaccinated. The wife did not get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. They made it back to their country. As soon as they landed, they went out. The wife caught COVID and died. Okay. Yesterday.
Damn.
Sorry to hear that.
And the husband is now having to plan everything and get everything situated. And he was like, I told her to go get vaccinated. That's all I kept hearing him say. I told her to go get vaccinated. So it's weird. I feel like there's so many different. This is the most Russian roulette as everything.
Well, how do you feel that knowing that it's not natural, though?
Right.
How do you feel knowing it's not natural?
I feel like everything
this is what I
is
feel.
not natural.
When it comes to the COVID, you got to understand how COVID is attacking the immune system, and it lives in the lungs, it lives in the respiratory system. So if it's someone with a chronic illness, meaning that you're living with something like diabetes, hypertension, especially if you're like type 2 diabetes, so much people that's type 2 diabetes, hypertension, that is like high risk, are on these meds just to control a daily substantial norm of living. Yeah. So you catch COVID, it's going to knock you out because you already are living with something.
You was at 65 instead of 100.
Right.
Yeah, because
you
was not
took
at
these
your
pills,
optimum,
it balanced you on a daily, and it prolonged life for you. Because being type 2 diabetes with no control, no insulin control, no, medication, you're going to die. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you understand?
What I'm saying is why, okay, this is why I say why I asked you, how do you feel knowing this is not natural? She said everything's not natural. I can understand that. But how do you feel, let's think about it for a second. How do you feel knowing this is not natural, meaning somebody directly sat down and made this shit? Right. You know what I'm saying? No, meaning they sat down and came up with this for a purpose, for a reason. Yeah. Niggas is out here catching it and dying, right? I'm supposed to go with you, the same person who probably made this shit, and do what you tell me to do to protect me from it and help me from it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Let's slow down and think about shit a little bit. Yeah. Then we might react differently. Mm-hmm. I'm not going in that wave at all because this don't make sense. Yeah. How you trying to cure me of what you gave me in the first place? Yeah. You feel me?
No, I always thought that.
How I'm supposed to know that this cure is a cure? Yeah, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
There definitely ain't no
think
cure.
About that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We already know that it ain't no cure. You know what I'm saying? So you might have the chip in you right now. You know what I mean?
And not only just that, what is the side effect? What's the side effect 10 years from now? You know what I'm saying? Well, you're not afraid 10 years from now, oh my gosh, everybody that got the COVID shot, we're recalling the COVID shot. You're not afraid of that? I'm waiting for one of them
lawyers to hit me up.
Hey, get your little piece, girl. Hey, if you were to be you're going to be like this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Everything is processed. You know what I'm saying? I even went to Publix the other day, and they got watermelon with no seeds in it.
Yeah. Everything is artificially.
Listen, I went to Target, and they had some grapes that taste like strawberries. It was like a hybrid grape. I was like, what? Yeah. A hybrid grape? Yeah. Yes, I ate it. It was great. It was good.
All that shit is having effects on the body. That's why I asked you that question. Sorry. That's why I asked you that question about when you took the shot, if it had an effect on any parts of your body, because I know some of these shit, next thing your thing can't stand up or certain things ain't, because
how long ago did you take it? Sorry.
May?
No.
May. Okay. She's still fresh.
Okay, so you had time to, get a steam and get everything clean, because I was in a relationship.
And you get it for your kids, too? Mm-hmm. They have it.
Oh, so you got it for your kid, too?
Yeah. She's 12.
He's like, wait a minute, oh, shit.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, 2 chips.
Is it 2 chips? Okay. Mind control shit.
Because some of these things have an effect. When I was in a relationship, she was taking birth control pills, and it prevented, from her getting, and
right. Yeah.
So I thought it was me. I thought it was something I wasn't doing. So it wasn't until she came off of it, and I'm like, oh shit! So it wasn't me this whole time.
Listen,
on you to figure out. I
think maybe because as a woman, I can't stand you, Lord. Yeah. I think as a woman, for me, because there's so much that we deal with and go through that are tied to things that are affected because of how just manipulated the things that we're putting in our body are. One of the biggest issues women deal with, fibroids and cysts. one of the biggest things that like lead to that is a lot of our diet.
No, facts.
A lot of our diet is linked.
And the pesticides that's on the food.
Perm too, because I read
You know
that perm have a lot to do with fiber.
Sanitation.
That has to do with
well, that too.
Products.
Yeah.
That too.
Listen,
It was never like if we go back to our original like essence of life and tribal ways. A lot of shit we do normally today.
Try about it.
It's like.
Yeah, but it's also food
didn't
that
exist.
hasn't been put with so much. Let me tell you, I would never forget.
Definitely.
I put my daughter on. I felt like I was one of those whole food moms. I used to get my mom to grow because my mom grows her own fruit sometimes. My daughter went through a phase when she was younger where everything on her was developing, and it was scaring me because I was like, "What? This is a baby. Like, why is she going through this?"
That's that school food shit.
yeah.
But it's not only that. Fast food, everything. And I was like,
definitely.
the fast food, just,
Yeah.
all of the stuff in the box, everything that,
Enough of it is not even food.
That's not.
Yeah,
Like
facts.
other countries and nations have banned that shit
Yeah.
from them.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
we get it with a meal
Like
deal. Let me get a number 2.
Yeah, let me.
2 number 2s with the toys for the kids, shit like that. You know what I mean?
So I was
You
like,
wonder
so
why.
we did an experiment, and I remember telling my ex-husband at the time, I said, we're not going to do no fast food. Everything's going to be natural. Everything's going to be, and I swear I saw the difference.
Yeah.
Right.
She stopped.
She's like,
and, yeah.
it's like when people go vegan,
And I was, we couldn't go
breasts
vegan.
and
I was
all that
just, oh,
shit,
God.
small up, the booty, everything,
Everything.
and then it comes back out like
But
different.
I was like,
You know
oh
what
my
I'm
goodness. Like, it was,
You saw a major difference in that.
yeah, and it really made me realize, like, because of course the chickens and the stuff we're eating, they're pumped with hormones.
Yeah, pumped.
Pumped with
Literally.
hormones.
Yeah.
So that's why
People
you're
love
seeing
chicken.
these kids. What? Chicken nuggets?
People eat chicken 5 times a week, bro.
Turkey,
Out of
you ever seen
7
the one-
days, you
like
eat
that
chicken
turkey-
4 or
turkey
5 times a
drumstick
week.
at the fair. It's
know what I'm
how
saying? That's
big is that?
crazy.
I'm like, yo, I want to
that
see the
turkey
rest of this turkey, bruh. I want to see what the whole turkey look like.
Nah, but Wingstop, that lemon pepper, I'm not even gonna front. Like, I'm kind of pesky, but every now and again, I'm not even gonna front. Like, that shit.
It's not even chicken, bro.
No, I think Chick-fil-A chicken is busting. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't
they
know.
should be
Real
way
chicken.
better than
It's real
Popeyes.
chicken.
Yeah,
It's
like
real chicken.
they groom or they do something to their chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Just look in their factory. The thing about anything you're trying to figure out, you can find out real
factory.
quick. So when you see chickens growing with like 5 arms and 6 legs and no head and shit,
Yeah.
you're not gonna really want that lemon pepper.
The best chicken I ever had,
like
the
what
best
hell is
chicken I
that?
ever had was in Honduras. We were like,
And they
on-
little. Real chickens is little, bro.
Yeah, they're normally
No,
small.
you're right. I went to Egypt, Cairo, Egypt, and listen, the chicken drum was about. I'm like, yo, what kind of chicken is? It was like, no, it's not chicken, it's pigeon. So they eat pigeon there. There's
So it's
no
more like
chicken there.
kosher?
Yeah, it's more like kosher. It's like, listen, but the size of the actual piece of drumstick is it's not even the
You
size
were
of
like,
a chicken nugget.
I'm gonna be
I'm like, but it
hungry.
was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I'm gonna need a 40 piece of this.
They don't really eat
You got
meat
this
out
in a
there
40
like that.
piece?
Everything
Yeah.
is more
Because
like
it does
it's
something
really
to
no
your
meat
body.
out there.
Like, I'm not even gonna front. Like, when I cut back from eating like meat and rice and all them type of
yeah.
things, I saw the difference.
Right,
Like,
and you
in-
could feel the difference.
yeah,
too.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think just fasting a little bit and
Right.
cutting out some of the processed stuff.
Yeah, it allows
That's
you to be
tribal,
your
though.
true self.
Yeah.
I mean, look how people felt about tilapia.
Yeah. Oh my God,
Is that
tilapia
real
went
fish?
down so fast.
Is that a real fish? I heard that was like
It's a real fish, but it's just
like
it's
a
a real
bottom
bad,
feeder.
dirty bottom feeder. Dirty
it's like
bottom
shrimp.
feeder.
Because I love shrimp.
It's like a pork
Yeah, I
fish.
so.
It's like a pork fish.
Yeah, it's a pork fish.
Yeah, it's like not good
It's
for
like
you.
a pork.
Yeah, it eats all the shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
a
but I can't stop eating shrimp though.
That's like
Yeah, that's
roaches.
another
It's like
one.
roaches.
it's another.
Yeah, it is like the roach of the sea.
Yeah.
Lobster.
It's a
Lobster.
better choice than jerk chicken. You think?
crab.
Like calorie wise?
Maybe. Depending on
Like
what,
Brussels sprouts.
how it's prepared. You know what I'm saying? What kind of sauces and shit you
Some
got on
Brussels
it.
sprouts.
I don't know, man. Shit just been changing up in the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people been getting affected, you know what I'm
Right.
saying, by different things, their businesses and stuff like that. But they're finding ways to make things easier for women. Because you were saying
Right.
women go through a lot of stuff. So there's been a lot of hunching going on during the pandemic, a lot of
Nice. I would
relationships
think
breaking
so.
up. So now I'm seeing that they're delivering the abortion pill to your casa.
Right. I think that's with the online visit, though, with the doctor. You know how they're
Yeah.
doing the Zoom with the doctor.
Oh, the telemedicine.
Yeah, telemedicine.
Yeah. So
and
she'd
then
be
they
like,
would,
Doc, I didn't mean to let it happen.
It happened.
Okay, the plan B will be at the doorstop.
Right.
In the next 24 hours.
Right.
But the doctors have been pushing back on it because I think it's limiting or it's taken away from their business from like women actually having to go inside the clinic and actually.
I think the insurance is cutting the same check. The only concern I have for that is just the fact that if you're going to give someone an abortion pill and you're talking to them through a video, and there's a certain limitation now with abortions. You can't have an abortion after, I think, 3 months or 12 weeks or 20 weeks?
Doing it like 4 or 5.
No, see, they're stopping that. They're stopping it at a certain trimester. So it's like, okay, what if I'm lying to you? What if I'm like 6 months and I'm like, oh no, I can't go through with it, you know?
No.
And then and I might be a smaller, and then you did a Zoom call with me and gave me some pills. You're gonna pass a whole fetus. You know what I'm saying? And that's dangerous. And you can hemorrhage, you can bleed out.
I worry about the girls that take it like Skittles.
Pop it.
What? They just pop it like Skittles.
All whack.
Pop it,
your
pop it.
hormones is mash up when you do that though.
What?
Like your hormones, it's like it's gonna
Out
take
of
a
balance.
while to get your hormones back to your natural
you're gonna be all out of
plateau.
whack.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Like it's altered wickedly, but then now also too to push the pill form. Why doctors not gonna like it? Because like they cash in on stuff that you wouldn't expect. COVID.
Yeah.
Why are COVID cases rising? Because hospitals, doctors getting $40,000 per body. So you come in here and broke your toe, we can get you out of here. That's $40,000, right?
Yeah.
So the same way with when it come on to the like babies and the whole womb shit and the whole umbilical cord and all this other stuff. Like these medical motherfuckers, they use this for shit.
Oh
You know what I'm saying? And they sell it at like a high price. So now, there you go. Thank you. His brain was like this,
She
right?
gonna know.
Yeah. Nah, I was trying to find it, but I was like,
I was
damn, help me,
He was
tag me in,
Googling it.
somebody. But it's cool. Y'all know where I was going. I was on the same street, right? But now, if you're at home taking pills and doing this by yourself, we don't have that option no more. So you just cut us out like 7 times, not just one.
Yes.
You cut us out at the visit. We can't clap your insurance no more. We don't have this product that we just got from you that we now resell and upsell. You know what I mean? So
divvy up the parts.
as coming from that, like, yo, we can't have that. Like, you stopping my money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now, while we're talking about this to the queens, it's a whole new thing going on in the medical industry. Is called medical kidnappings.
Medical
You
kidnapping.
mean like organ harvesting?
No, like medical kidnappings. Like they have devised ways to like legally take your child from you.
How? Why? Because
Depending on their justification.
like if it's a drug mom or.
Not even. They don't even have to be nothing like extreme or no like extensive circumstance. Like the case that I watched the other day. You know how everybody, like she said, they're doing their Look, I was like that for like 2 days. For the record, I was stuck just like that for 2 days.
Yeah.
So it was a couple, and they doing their like natural holistic thing. You know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. So now the girl, the mother, she had a child already. It was like 1-2 years old. But she was also pregnant and just giving birth to another child.
Right.
The first child was still breastfeeding. So, like, she had to take him to get examined or whatever because he wasn't taking any fluids. So he's dehydrating, losing weight, and all kind of shit because he only wanted the breast milk, right? So her taking him to get examined and figure out what's going on now put her in, made her now
Questionable as
not even questionable, but like you're now
neglecting.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the word, neglect. That's the legal term that is being used as a broad term is neglect. Because now we can take your child under that because why is this child not healthy?
That's what that's
right?
Okay.
So
Right.
they took that child
nutritionally.
like a day or two after she had the present child, like she's going home with the baby, and like they stop her and her husband on the road, surround them, like, yo, we need that child. We need this baby. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo, what do you do in that essence or in that situation as a parent?
So that actually, so that's actually something that happens not only with children, but adults as well. 'Cause I do know a lady who, because she chose holistic ways to handle their kids, or they had a child, I think, that was dealing with cancer, and they were trying to figure out the whole situation. But because they refused to let the kid do the chemo that the doctor was insisting.
Now it's neglect.
Now it's neglect. They took the child away from her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so that's when they bring in like a particular attorney. There's a movie, I think Netflix had it, where they were doing something like that, but with adults. They would basically make this lawyer their caregiver or oversee their whole assets and everything. And they kept them drugged up, and then they would take almost like custody from whoever was over that senior parent. Yeah. They now have the custody, and when the person, when something happens or if anything happens, they get all benefits or access. And it's
some crazy.
But what you were saying though, because I used to work in pediatric gastrology, and it was a similar situation like that. Also,
it's career. That's a career, bro.
That's really good job. Really good job. But we've seen a lot of pediatric babies that were just born. They were having reflux issues, digestive issues, because they're new and they're sensitive to whatever. So, and it depends on the mom's diet and all that stuff. So, and if baby chooses breast milk, what they should do and how that should be corrected is just like when you send someone that just is recovering from a stroke and they need that assistance at home, send mom some help at home. And you know what I'm saying? And let's get a program going with nourishment with this child. And then you have that eye on making sure that, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is being given to the child. Because you never know what people's true beliefs are, religious beliefs, fasting, and things of that nature. So if you see a malnourished, which we used to call it failure to thrive, that child is not on a growth curve or on a chart, then we would insert someone into the home and make sure that this child is receiving the nutrition that it needs.
Well, they want the child because then,
definitely. That's the end result. Like, we want this child.
That would be the corrective way of doing things. You know what I'm saying?
But in this situation, there's a bigger conspiracy behind that. There's someone that's activating, is trying to identify.
They still got to produce this child. They can't just cut it open and take organs and this child just disappear. That's crazy. We got to track.
Yeah, but my thing is, okay, as a parent, do you allow this to go? No, like, do you say,
all your money.
Okay, take my child because I don't want to get arrested. Don't lock me up or whatever the case may be. So do you do that and just like, okay, go ahead? And then you go home and you're mad and you make your calls and you cry or whatever. You
go through the process of what the society and your environment give you to fight with.
But then now, okay, let's say this process takes 11 months, right?
Yeah. That child is a whole walking baby at this point.
That's one concept, right? But my thing is, what are you doing with my child for this 11 months?
Sure enough.
Is my child going to be my child when they come back after this 11 months?
A little military baby.
Is this going to be like a whole Android robot shit? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, then insert a chip
so if you're in that scenario, you get pulled over, surrounded by cars, and this is the stage, what do you do? Is what I'm saying. Like, as a parent. Like, real world. I already said, like, yo, we dying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just for the record. Y'all not taking my jit, y'all not taking me, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to do something else, or it's going to be yellow tape right here. You know? So I'm not going to live with, damn, this 5 months and I ain't seen my son or my daughter. Like, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we know what's going on with the COVID and the this and the that and the chip and the you know what I'm saying? But it's real life. There you go.
You absolutely
real life. See, when we done, it's wild because you see the face. Like when they dropped it on me like a couple nights ago, I was like that for 2 days. To where they like apologizing, like, yo, man, I'm so sorry that I dropped. Like, look, it's not even that. I appreciate you because you let me know that, aware that this is what's going on. It's fucked up that this was going on, but now it's like I'm putting myself in a scenario like, what is my move? Like, what do I do? I'm in a situation. What do I do? The only conclusion is we might not make it home. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? This is a similar case that I heard about a gentleman getting released on probation. And in order to be on probation, the judge mandated that he get vaccinated. He's like, nah, I am good. And that was part of the terms of being on probation. Wow. Can a judge force that on you, really? Honestly?
That's
and I'm like, why is this being so forced? Why is this being, okay, those that don't want it, don't want it. Okay, let them be. Let them be. Why is it being forced? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what I question about this vaccination and all that stuff.
So what happened to him?
They're still fighting. He got an attorney, and they said the judge cannot mandate it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yo, this was good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
This convo could go on for hours. I appreciate all y'all coming through.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm going to start with Media Bay. Let everybody know where they can find you at. All your handles.
Yes. Everything. Hey, Bay. So everything is Media Bay. MEDIABAE. I had to think about it. Also, you make sure you follow my page, Hey Bay Live, my virtual concert. A lot of people been asking about the next one. Just follow the page for when I announce the 2022 details. But yeah, and www.heymediabay.com.
All right, Hey Bay Bay. China Travels in the building.
All day. Complimentary Bel Air in the house. Shout out to Sam Sneak and Rich Forever for all the just the blessings on the bottles. I appreciate you guys. I had to come bless you guys, but
thank you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't used to that now.
You can't come empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? You must come bearing gift because you will do the same for me.
Facts.
Okay, so but hello, yes.
And my dog Tigger in the building.
Yes, sir.
The Jizza.
Yes, sir. Well, you can find us right here, man, at musicmedialounge.com every day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brother Wayne, the I Talk Great family. Give thanks for the energy. Chosen Few Family, Instagram, that's CHOZEN, Few Family. And yeah, that's what it is.
Facts, man. Yo,
appreciate you, brother.
So great to have y'all on all these different topics.
Yeah, we got to have a part 2.
Yeah, we got to, because I feel like I had to cut that.
I still got more cards. I see that he was doing the shuffle. It's more cards. It's part 2. Let's continue it whenever you can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Williams. I Talk Great. Click that link below in the bottom and subscribe. We out of here.
Yo.